BTC is back at 100K. What happened in that bear market for the last 24 hours? So we've broken some bullish trends here on BTC. Is the market turning super bullish? Now, guys, we got massive updates for you. You got some great entries yesterday from the show. Now we're going to update some of these. A lot of these alts have been ripping. We're going to give you some more degen entries on these things. And if this market's going to rip, you're going to be sorted out. Now, I've also got a big guest coming in today. Have you heard of Spotify? Well, think of Web3 and Spotify. So these guys are coming in hot as well. We got tons to talk about today. Let's get right into it. Remember, as always, hit that like, hit the bell, hit the subscribe. Rainbow Ray is here, the chart hacker, fresh off one of his scalping sessions just now. And here's a sneak peek. There's a cabin. It's an empty cabin somewhere in the middle of Canada. There he is. There's one of our guests. Here's the other one. Not quite a cabin. I'm not sure where this man is at the moment. But these guys, look, they're coming in hot. They're coming in hot, these boys. Okay, let's go. Banter bubbles. And let's see what we're looking at. Jasmine, that's a bit of a ripper. Sui. Now, that thing has absolutely taken off. We did talk about 𝗬𝗎 a couple of times already this week. Nice big mover. Celestia, 1% up. I'm pleased to say I'm finally out of that long. Okay, I went to the depths of hell in that thing and I've exited that Celestia long. And Poncho says more down coming. Sorry. Well, Poncho, we are hitting a lot of short zones here on some of these altcoins. If you are brave enough, you can look at it. I've just tried a whiff short at the moment. We're in a hot zone. I've got the chart. I'm going to explain the thinking behind it. But I do suspect now with BTC breaking that trend, we could be looking at a couple of bullish things in the not so distant future. Okay, Floki's alive again. We know what's going on there. And I suppose, I mean, this is the hourly. So you can see we've had a proper pumpage now and a proper takeoff since that CPI news came out and since the US markets have opened. So things are really starting to heat up here at the moment. Remember, Banter bubbles, what you can do is you can look at yearly prices, monthly, weekly, daily, and hourly. You can even dial in on lower time frames to really see what the quick movers are. So this thing is cooking here for us at the moment. Let's take a look. What is all the fuss about on BTC? So we've had this massive pump. Now, Ray and I had a second crack at that long yesterday. There was a stop hunt. Then we grabbed that one again. And that was a nice long. But I feel I've closed this thing way too early because I was too conservative. And I closed this thing at our resistance band. This type of region here is where we exited that long on BTC yesterday. But now we have broken trend and things are looking hot. So what the first thing you want to do, if you want to start identifying your pullback levels, what do? We take our fibs and we go from the lows to the highs. So let's just bang these out quickly. We pull it lows to the highs and we start looking at levels of interest. Where can we get some kind of bullish pullback? If there is a rejection now on BTC, what are we looking at? So here is our first main support zone that we're going to watch after that nice blow up there on BTC. So the zones we're going to watch to the downside now in the next 24 hours. Let's go. 98,300. That looks like a banger. I've also got cover from this anchored VWAP, a little bit lower there. So 98,300 down to round about 98K. Okay, that's going to be your hot zone. So any deep pullbacks here on BTC, that is what we're looking at. That is going to be our next attempt at a long on BTC. Now, if they do want to sweat us a little bit lower, there are a couple of areas that you need to pay attention to. The first one is 97,400, and then the other one will be your big 618. That is going to be 96,600. So these are your downside levels that you can worry about. So if we start falling over, that is what you're looking at. That is what we're looking at for some bounce zones. Robert, I've got you, sir. This is Robert. He's sitting in the hackers. This guy's a proper degen. He's 50x leveraging himself all day long. He's printing. I don't know what's going on. He was obviously sitting with Ray today. And what you guys were long in CAS. You were long in grass. What were you doing there, Raymond?
We did some longs. We got some shorts last night too. Longs and shorts.
Right. Cool, calm, and collected there. I like it. This hackers is firing up at the moment. And I'm going to give you guys a special promo code for the fastest fingers to join hackers for a $30 discount. So stick around. We're going to sort it out. Shortly. Okay, so let's talk BTC. Downside levels, you know where we are. And then upside levels, well, we got to identify the big zones. And the first big one we can see is going to be our 102,300 zone. That is our 786. You can see there's an issue there. And right now, a slight rejection here at our 618 fib. So let's see if we start closing under the 618, that could be the start of the move lower. So upside levels you want to be watching. Let's call it 101,300 and 102,300. 300. These are the big ones you're going to worry about to the upside. These are going to be your typical rejection zones on BTC. But it's good. It feels like we are back, and we are back in the bull market. Now, this is basically, and I mean, I'm going to include myself in this, okay? And this says new trader after buying Bitcoin at 104K last week. I'm going to say any altcoin trader, any shitcoin trader, any leverage trader at the moment, this is basically, this is the vibe, you know? This was us in the last 24 hours. Up, down. What does this do to your emotions? I mean, you know, it's been quite an impressive 24 hours in the market. And then 𝗙𝗬𝗟𝗟𝗢𝗟𝗏, I mean, they're kind of blaming this drop on BTC yesterday on Bitcoin falling below 95K after Microsoft shareholders voted against the Bitcoin investment proposal. Was there that much power in that statement? I'm not actually sure. And then remember today we had CPI came out. Everything was flat. Everything was relatively okay for us. It came in line with forecast. And we had a couple of red days on the S&P, and now they've responded beautifully. So we've had 2 red days on the S&P bleeding into CPI. What happens? It comes out flat as everyone expected, and the S&P now is cooking. And the traders have added to their bets on a Fed rate cut in December, and we are at 94%. And remember, the market loves certainty, and when the market gets certainty like that, then they like to pump, okay? Then people like to buy. So that is the current situation in the news. And guys, we got special guests today. There's a token launch on 𝗬𝗥𝗑, okay? They're coming in hot in a couple of minutes for you guys. We're doing a giveaway. Ray's going to choose the, we're going to figure it out. Ray, we're doing a giveaway to 10 people. They're going to use a promo code for chart hackers, okay? So think about how we're going to do that. We're going to give it to 10 people. We've got a promo code for you guys. And then let's talk. I want to remind you guys about Ledger. Now, I know you've seen this a lot, okay? Here's Ledger. And what happens? You store your profits on this thing. You store your spot bags on this thing, and you keep it nice and safe. Now, Banter has partnered with Ledger. And if you buy a Ledger Flex, you are going to get a $70 voucher for BTC. It's not loaded on. It's a separate coupon that you can claim. So if you buy the Ledger Flex using the link in the show description, it's $249. They're going to give you $70 worth of Bitcoin. Okay, so it's a nice big discount there for you. You're paying about $180 in the end for a Ledger. So jump into the show description at underneath here. You can see everything I'm talking about today is going to be under the show description for you. So you can grab that stuff. And then I want to remind you guys again, the BitUnex trading competition, there's a lot going on here and there's a lot at stake for you guys. And the current competition, if you sign up and deposit your link under my link, you will get 20% rebate. And the top 5 winners are going to win a trip to Dubai. Okay, so that sounds like quite a pleasant deal for you guys. Now, that link is under the show description for you as well. So jump in and take advantage. You can see the guys are trading some big volume here. I mean, this guy at the top, he's already on $17 million, and there's 19 days left for this competition. So jump in the show link below, and that is that. Now, let's look at BTC on a higher time frame and just see where we are. Now, we've had a bit of a sell-off. We've had pumps, we've had dumps, but if we look at it on the 3-day, remember, if we zoom out, we can really just get a bigger picture as to where we are in the grand scheme of things. And right now, there's no real changes. Bitcoin is in a nice uptrend at the moment on the 3-day. We are printing higher lows as we go, and we are busy trying to pierce through our horizontal. So if this move continues, our major move is 113K that we are still looking at. So no changes there, but we do obviously have some work to do. We got the highs at 103,800 to take out. But if we do get a little bit bullish, that is going to make great support and most likely offer us a nice trade into that 113 zone at a later stage. So let's do some work here. Let's get Bitcoin grinding out, and then we'll deal with it when we get there. Let's break those highs first. And okay, so BTC slight rejection. Ray, are you sure we're not shorting this one yet, bro? It feels like we can jump into this. It feels like we can jump into.
Yeah. I was saying like it's at the top of a regression trend, but it's back testing it. It could fall in.
Okay, let's see the risk here. It's a 0.7% risk. Okay, if you're jumping in here, it's a 0.7% risk on BTC. Okay, well, okay, let's continue. Let's see what's going on. I have shorted WIF. Oh, it's nice. It's nice, Ray.
Yeah, WIF was the better play because dominance is going up. Good play.
Okay, dominance is going up. WIF's hit a major reaction zone. We're going to talk about that one in a second. Okay, let's go. So let's talk alt season. So, you know, we looked at this chart yesterday and we've lost our alt season ban. Now we've dipped back in. So can they come and save the day by pumping these altcoins back into the alt season mode? Well, I think that's going to play out if we start printing some new highs on some of these altcoins and some of these meme coins start recovering pretty hard. Then I think we will be okay. But right now, according to this graph, we are no longer in alt season, which lasted approximately 4 days. And now we are back in the neutral zone. So right now, we got to play a little bit safe here. And then total 3, absolute banger bounce. We touched on this one yesterday. What were we looking at? We wanted the support bounce here on total 3, and now it's a solid move up. But again, we are not out of the woods. We have major resistance ahead at 1.13, so we need to just be a little bit cautious with things, okay? Until we start breaking levels, we start printing new highs, we need to just be cautious. And dominance, this is a massive factor for us. This is dominance on the weekly. And you can see what happened. We pumped into our major resistance band for dominance yesterday. And we were saying we needed a hard rejection here on this guy to send it lower. So far, so good on the weekly dominance. If we flip this one over, just to remind you, if this was a bullish setup, we had our break of trend, we had our retest, and now we really just want to see this dominance push lower. And that is going to really ignite these alts and take us back into that alt season band. But the only issue is, for me at the moment, you can see we've got this weekly. It needs to close for me under the 200-day moving average. Now, this 200-day moving average is a big marker for us. You can see it's tied in with weekly horizontal support and resistance. So if we start closing under here, that's going to be super bullish for these alts. Just look out if we get another pop into that zone. That obviously is going to keep things a little bit more complicated. I see Robert says he likes my charts. Robert, good, bro. And I hope you're using all the setups I've been dropping in my setups channel as well, guys. And sometimes we must actually run through this. We must run through this chart hackers here and give people a little rundown.
Let's show them the Discord. Let's show them the Discord, please.
Okay. Guys in the chats. Okay, let me know in the chats. Do you want a sneak peek into chart hackers? And let's see. And 𝗟𝗩𝗟𝗟𝗡𝗥 says, my lord, can you look at Hippo tonight? Fuck, that hippo hurt me 2 days ago. I don't want to look at that thing for a while. And Led is here for the beard. Well, bro, as long as you're here, that is all that matters. And what else have we got going on here? Brett's talking about something called Alchemist that he wants to send to $1 billion. Zweletu's in the house. And I think he was at the rugby as well. I hope you enjoyed that Sevens rugby there, bro. And Danny says hackers is fire. Okay, well, that's good stuff, guys. Let's get into some of these altcoins here. And let's start with the 𝗏 situation. So as you guys know, until we start printing highs on a lot of these altcoins, we are technically in a downtrend. So we called these reversals. We saw them on the 1 hour. We saw them on the 4 hour. We saw a lot of them on the 8 hour are starting to get their reversals. But remember, the dailies are still a problem. So until these dailies get reset, these oscillators, we are still effectively trending down. Leon is back. Leon, my man. Hello, sir. Welcome back, Captain. Good to see you here in the chats. I haven't seen Leon here in a while. Okay, so 𝗏 still looking bearish on the daily, but let's not forget we are in the process now of these 4-hour reversals that we picked up yesterday and the day before, and these 8 hours. So what we're going to watch here for 𝗏 until we break new highs, this is basically my game plan. Okay, so we get a little pump, then we get a little rejection, and we're still looking at buys lower down. So my high conviction 𝗏 play, I've picked up one limit order the other day at 3.6. My next buy is at 3,420, and my next buy is down here just above 3,000 if they do want to come and send us a little bit lower. And 𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓 Grez obviously from Poland, wants to see the Discord. I'm sure we can make a plan there for you, sir. Okay, let's talk some setups. Here's 𝗬𝗎, absolute banger. Raymond, fuck me. This is a proper ripper.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it's a banger. Guys, I mean, wow, what a banger. Okay, so 𝗬𝗎 taken off. We did cover that a couple of times this week. And then you can see, what else have I got in my bag of tricks here? I've got a whiff short that I've just opened now. I'm going to show you that chart in a minute. Again, we at a major resistance zone. Doesn't mean we can't blow through, but you guys know my strategy at the moment, and especially in these types of market conditions, when we had that massive dump the other day, what saved our asses? It was all those shorts that we were sitting in, all those head shorts. So remember, my game plan is let it pump. Okay, when we get to the big zones, we're taking profits, or we can open head shorts on a certain amount of tokens. If we blow through those levels, we net long, we keep pushing higher. If we fall over, we got cover for our stops, and it helps us add to some of our positions. So There goes 𝗬𝗎𝗪𝗔𝗓𝗪. There's the whiff short that I've just opened. 𝗦𝗥, I added a little bit to my 𝗦𝗥 short because we are sitting at resistance there. Celestia, I'm out of that Celestia long finally, and I've opened a Celestia short. I'm going to show you why it's in a danger zone at the moment. Then a little bit lower, we've got Bonk. That's a banger from yesterday. Okay, hopefully you guys got some of that as well. Brett absolutely took off from our zone. I've also grabbed a Brett head short here as well at a resistance band. I'm going to show you that in a second. Injective firing nicely. There's the 𝗦𝗥's long core. Was a long earlier that I dropped in hackers. I see you. It's turned over a bit. This thing peaked quite nicely earlier. Phantom was a long from hackers as well earlier today. That's a banger. Peppy, guys, you know about that. And Sol is obviously doing Solana things. So let's take a look at Sol. And I did cover this chart briefly yesterday for you guys. And our plan was, if we did get a push on Sol, we were looking at a TP zone or a head short zone around about 236 to about 241. That is what we're targeting. And you can see, just looking at our oscillator, even on the 12-hour, it's now showing signs of a reversal. So that's actually relatively bullish for us. You can see the last time we had a 12-hour reset, we had a mega move on Sol. Let's just look at it on the 8-hour quickly as well. Let's see where we are. Nice 8-hour reversal in play for us there. And then our 4-hour, let's take a look. That 4-hour is now cruising. So remember, sometimes we got to be a little bit patient. And when our oscillator tells us that we are getting the reversal, sometimes there is one more dip before we get that. Remember, we need to look for those divergences. And sometimes when that oscillator hits the bottom, there's often one more sell-off before the move comes. But the oscillator doesn't lie with regards to time. We know that we are getting close when these things are getting low into those areas. So a couple of signs there that we were going to get that bullish move. But what I want to share with you guys is there's a danger zone coming for Sol. So if the pumpage continues, there's a potential take profit zone. And if you're brave enough, you want to give it a go, there's a short opportunity brewing from 235 up to about, call it 241, somewhere in that zone. And you can see we're keeping it super simple here. That is a resistance trend. That is also a 618 resistance band. It's also horizontals. And I've got an anchored VWAP from the high. So we know it's an absolute war zone up there for Sol. And if it does pop through that, super bullish, guys. If it does blow through that, then Sol, we are tracking. We are going to 270. We are going to 300. We are going to those levels. But until we break that, we need to just be a little bit careful there with Solana. So right now, as with regards to support, if you are trading Sol, I've got decent support for you at 223. You can see we are back in that range. So that was our range low there. So 223, that's the best bullish support I can give you for Sol, especially on a 12-hour. So that would mean we lose that entire 12-hour candle, and that would be pretty bearish. So I'm expecting Sol to hold any pullbacks now until we push into that 240 to 242 type of region. That is what we're going to be watching. Mr. Disciple wants to send us to 90K. Yeah, it could be. NZ Danny says is shouting dip, sending us dip. Amir, I've just covered Ethereum for you guys. Hope you got it. And NZ Danny says, why do I hate DOT so much? It's in the same bracket as ADA, XRP. It's almost like a meme for me. I'm not a major fan. It feels like 2021 vibes. You know what I mean? It feels a little bit old, but I agree. Sol can do things for you guys. Now, let's talk a couple of other setups. This was Phantom. And yesterday we covered Phantom from the lows. We looked at a couple of zones, and I explained to you guys what I was looking for. And just to remind you where we were looking for that bullish pullback onto a nice little zone, whether it was there or we were looking for our double bottom. Then what we wanted to see was a nice trend break of these types of areas. Now that is what's played out for Phantom today. So super bullish now for Phantom. And this is a trade I dropped earlier this morning in Chart Hackers. So anybody in Chart Hackers got this trade set up on Phantom. So if you missed the entries yesterday, there was a breakout trade on Phantom. So now what do we do now? This is Phantom on the 1 hour. How do we play this thing? So you can see the oscillator a little bit hot on the 1 hour at the moment, turning a bit hot. But if we do zoom into the 4 hour, we can see that this oscillator still wants to churn up. Okay, so that reversal was called beautifully on this oscillator. Now it's still pushing higher for us. So no reason to turn bearish yet on Phantom. We understand that on the daily time frame, that thing is falling over. But from a short-term perspective, until that 4 hour gets super hot, I think we can keep looking for continuation here on a lot of these tokens. So right now you can see Phantom is in our first danger zone. That is our first TP zone on that trade. And then the next plan is, how do we find our next entry? What do we do? So simple game plan here. You can take a fib from the lows earlier today. That was, or earlier yesterday. That was late yesterday. We take a fib from those lows and we pull it to the highs, and we look for some bullish levels here on Phantom. So what we can see pretty clearly here, this could be your first degen entry zone. So if you have missed a trade now on Phantom, remember the market is hot. The market is cooking now. So if you are jumping in, work out the size of your risk. So if you're jumping into any trades now, work out where your nearest risk point is. And right now, if you're jumping into Phantom, your nearest risk is around 4%. So if you're trading high leverage and the market goes against you and it falls over, then you're going to end up sweating Phantom down all the way to these types of levels. And then you might get that bounce. So you don't want to put yourself under too much pressure on these altcoins. Obviously, FOMO is an actual thing and you might want to be getting involved. But the best levels I can give you from a degen entry perspective is going to be 1.17 is what you're looking at there. So any dips into that guy, 1.17 should give you that pump into 1.28 or even into 1.38. Looks like a nice little area for me. And then there is a backup zone, and that is going to be 1.13. So 1.13 is going to be your backup region, but I'd say degens 1.17 is most likely where you get your next Phantom entry for that next trade. Now, remember, in the context of where we are, these are our extreme highs. So once we start breaking those, then we start targeting that 1.6 level that we're looking at Phantom. But right now, let's not get rinsed trying to do it. So just play it safe. If you have missed the boat.
Hold on.
Yes, sir.
Why are we playing it safe with the likes? What's going on, guys? There's like 1700
If you're enjoying
people.
the content, hit the like button, hit the bell, hit the subscribe, and don't forget, I can't bring on these amazing guests. Okay, look at, they're so pumped. He's vaping, he's sitting in a cabin. I mean, the shit's going down. He's even a bit frozen there. They're coming in hot for you guys. Okay, so Phantom, you've got your degen levels. Okay, so hopefully some of you guys got some entries yesterday. If not, there was a trend break for all the Hackers members. You got that Phantom trade set up for me on Hackers. That thing is now cooking for us. Let's talk bonk, because this was an absolute banger from yesterday as well. And just to look where we are, bonk on the 4 hour, you can see our reversal has started now. So anybody sitting in bonk here, you are part of this uptrend. Now, the last time we did have an uptrend on bonk, it wasn't a super high one. It was a bit of a grind, okay? But it did give you some kind of results. But my current plan for bonk is unchanged. This is a danger zone for us to the upside. And that major resistance for me on bonk is actually multiple zeros, 427. That is what we're going to be watching to the upside. That is the danger zone. And this is effectively what I'm looking at now on bonk. So if you did get that entry yesterday, what I can say is you don't have to close the entire trade, because obviously this market can really rip and blow through these trends and things. But you can see bonk has got a lot of work to do still. So I would exercise caution on any further pumps in bonk. Anything up to, anything from 40 to 43 on bonk looks like a danger zone for me. And you can see, keeping it super simple, that's trend resistance. I've got VWAPs up there. I've got horizontals. There's a lot going on in that type of region for bonk. So just play it safe if you do push that one higher. And then your support, if you took this trade yesterday, move your stop loss up. Just raise it to round about your entry there. Maybe put it in profit just to protect yourself, guys. Remember, you don't want to do round trips. This market is still a little bit fragile. Okay, we don't want to do round trips here. We get nice pumps. Okay, remember the deal. Take profits, head shorts, do these things along the way, and just protect yourselves. That is the number one gain here. Okay. Chart hackers, Ray, I wanted to talk about you, bro. And I wanted to show everybody what Ray was getting up to. So I dropped this on Twitter today. This is follow me at the Lord of Entry, and follow Ray too. He's Block C Ball Out, okay? And Ray was hosting one of his live trading sessions. So for those of you that don't know, Ray's a bit of a savage, okay? He's a bit of a degen 3-minute trader, okay? But he's fucking good at it, okay? And people love what he is doing. And we've got him going. He gets a daily live session in Chart Hackers for you guys. And this was just such a cool picture. We had all these people sitting here watching Ray in his AI goggles here, doing his thing. Okay, there was lots going on there, and the guys were super happy in the chats with what he was doing. So I wanted to give away a promo code. Okay, so let's give away. Let's give away. We want to give away 10 people, Ray. What are we doing here, bro? Are you going to select the names? What do you want to do here? Or shall we just give them the promo code? Okay, let's give them the promo code. The first 10 that use, go to the show description. Click on. Let me just show you exactly where to go. Okay.
Here's the link. It's in the comments.
Okay. Go to the show description or in the comments. Let's see. There it is. Second from the top, third from the top. Click on Get Chart Hackers. Okay. Go to that link. Click on Get Chart Hackers. Use the coupon or use the promo code Hot Zones. Okay. Hot Zone. Is it Hot Zones? It's Hot Zone. Hot Zones. Use the promo code Hot Zones. The first 10 are going to get a $30 discount to get into Hackers. Okay. Use the promo code Hot Zones. Okay. Get in there and let's sort you out. If Hot Zones doesn't work, guys, you got to use Hot Zone. I think it's Hot Zones. Okay, one word, Hot Zones. Okay, there we go. So get stuck in here. Come and have fun with us, and let's get cracking now. Let's go. I want to cover one more chart, and then we're going to bring our special guests on because they've launched a token on 𝗬𝗥𝗑 today. Okay, and there's a ton happening here with these guys. Let's talk 𝗬𝗥𝗑 quickly. Another one we discussed yesterday, and just another great example of these altcoins. So if we look at 𝗬𝗥𝗑 on the daily, you can see from a daily perspective, we are still under the highs and we are still in danger of something along these lines on 𝗬𝗥𝗑. So let's not forget, let's not get too euphoric while we are getting these pumps. Obviously, it's nice while we're enjoying it, but what we need to do, pay attention to our oscillator. Our daily oscillator is trying to send us a little bit lower. We can see that. So we need to understand, okay, we are still potentially a little bit bearish on 𝗬𝗥𝗑 until we start breaking these highs, until we start sending it to new levels. Then what we can do is look at the degen side of things on 𝗬𝗥𝗑. And this was one of the setups I dropped in Hackers again today. And this was a simple inverse head and shoulders trend breakout. And 𝗬𝗥𝗑 has absolutely taken off. So the reason I was saying 𝗬𝗥𝗑 is in a danger zone for you guys, just so you can see if anybody's caught this 𝗬𝗥𝗑 pump, you can see we are now in a hot zone. So this is a problem. We've got major horizontals here on the 1 hour. This is resistance, and we have our 618. So it's reacting like it does in a typical manner here at this hot zone. And you can see there's a bit of a fight here for 𝗬𝗥𝗑 at this 48 region. So this is where you just exercise a little bit of caution, and then you start saying to yourself, okay, if we get a pullback and the market remains bullish, where is my next entry? If I missed yesterday's lows for the entry, if I missed the trend breakout, where's my next degen play on 𝗬𝗥𝗑? And this is one of the typical ways that you can start hunting these types of entries. So the first thing you want to do is just identify your main horizontal support. And you can see on the degen side of things, that is going to be the 45 level, 45.9 zone is what you're going to be watching. So that is our first degen level support. Then what we can do is we can bang in some VWAPs and just try and look for some extra confluence there on some of the lows and see where we can get some extra support. And then I'm going to take a fib from the lows on the 10th of December, and I want to find my first degen zone. So if 𝗬𝗥𝗑 starts drifting lower and falls over, where am I prepared as a degen to take on some risk here if I believe the market is going to bounce and stay bullish? So that area for me is 46. Okay, 46 on 𝗬𝗥𝗑. You can see we are at a rejection zone now. So the best and the safest zone I can give you for 𝗬𝗥𝗑, 46. Okay, and Leon says, what oscillator is that? Leon, that is the chart prime oscillator. Now, I've done a school on this where I do my basic TA and I include chart prime in the school. So I've incorporated all my TA using chart prime together. And that school is in a link in the description. If you guys want to do that, all these cool things that I do on the chart, plus all the indicators together, as well as bots and automation. In fact, I'm doing my second workshop tomorrow. It's the masterclass, and we've got the chart prime guys coming in. They're talking bots and automation for everybody that has done the course. So that is going live tomorrow with me and Alex from Chart Prime. So just to finish talking here on 𝗬𝗥𝗑, your bullish zone or your safest zone is going to be 46. Okay, that is your degen entry zone. Now, obviously, this thing can run higher. We see that. So if 𝗬𝗥𝗑 does start pumping higher, what are our targets? So right now we can see 48 and we can see 51, and then we can see these highs at around about 54. These are our upside targets. Now, this is the 1 hour chart. You can't get more degen than that. But if you want to be an absolute savage, you can go 15 minutes. Okay, and it's tricky now, because what you're going to be looking for is some kind of breakout of this mini 15-minute flag. So if it stays bullish here and just starts grinding higher, the minute you take out those highs that where we've just rejected, could be an opportunity to jump into 𝗬𝗥𝗑 on a scalp basis and try and take it to the next level. But that is like extreme degen shit here. This the safest stuff I can give you is zoomed out and using 46 as your degen zone. Okay, and then always have a backup plan. So it's 46. And then your backup zone is going to be 44. Okay, so these are your safest zones here for AVAX. Just note we are at resistance at the moment, so just play it safe. Okay, now let's bring in our special guests. This is Ryder. Okay, this is Ryder, and this is Zach. And you can see Ryder's internet's a little bit slow. I think because he's sitting in a cabin in the snow. Am I right? Is it snowing there, bro?
Yeah, it's foggy. We are on Vancouver Island here, and sitting on a lake in the cabin my great-grandfather built. And it's a pleasure to be talking to you in South Africa.
Good to have you here, Zach. And where are you sitting, sir?
I'm sitting downtown Toronto right now. Or as we would say, Toronto. Toronto.
Okay, but our boys, you've got something really special here that's been launched, and I want to bring up your website. Okay, and the cool thing about this, and it's also the nice thing about 𝗬𝗥𝗑, they get a lot of token launches first. Okay, and they've partnered with 𝗬𝗥𝗑 here, and they've launched their token. When does it go live, guys?
Literally, it's now, as of 2 hours ago, and yeah, thanks to 𝗬𝗥𝗑, it's a pleasure. We're also
okay. So this is what it is. I'm gonna let the boys just give you an explanation. I don't think I did it justice by saying Spotify for Web3. So what is going on? What is 𝗗𝗑𝗏? Talk to us.
So yeah, I'm Ryder. I'm the founder of 𝗗𝗑𝗏. 𝗗𝗑𝗏 is the future of music streaming. We will be the Spotify killer. We just went live on the Apple App Store, Google Play, and we are one of the first 50 dApps on the Solana saga. I love this puppy. And, we've been building in Solana in the last 3 years. One of our, first lead investors was actually from the Solana mobile team. He's now one of the top devs at Solana Labs, 𝗵𝗎𝗍, shout out to him. But yeah, Solana, man, a year ago, when it hit $8, people were like, you got to take Solana off the deck. And I was like, fuck you. Because, we just left Breakpoint. And it was just like, I've been to the last 3 Breakpoints. I love the community. 𝗏𝗏𝗟𝗟𝗢𝗏 and Raj are the dudes I want to surf with. I saw 𝗏𝗏𝗟𝗏𝗢 talk in 2015. Nice guy. Don't want to go surfing with him. So, I love that they actually got product. They're cool. It's like, I spent a lot of time down in El Salvador at this little surf town called El Zonte, which has now been dubbed Bitcoin Beach. And, they're all super bullish on Bitcoin. Like, yeah, but it's not anonymous. It's like, no, that's why I love Solana. So anyhow, we have a brand new music streaming platform where 100% of subscriptions go to users, 100%. So it's like, Spotify pays out tiny little bits, per stream rate. Fuck that. I've been in music 25 years. And, on 𝗗𝗏𝗏, hey, Lord Dylan, you got a favorite artist?
Let's go with ABBA.
ABBA. That's not what I thought you were going to say. Okay, but on 𝗗𝗏𝗏, if you listen to ABBA, you can listen to ABBA. On all these music NFT platforms, your favorite artists aren't there. You'll have your same 100 million songs, your favorite tracks. Plus, if like I just noticed, Leon Bratt jumped in here, and if his music's on, if he wants to upload, an album today, it takes a minute. It's actually, when you upload albums directly to 𝗗𝗏𝗏, you're actually minting to Solana, which opens up your supercharging content. So we got your full catalog, plus, you can mint tickets, you can mint music, etc. But yeah, we're here for creators. We're here about building community on an app. Spotify, Tidal, Deezer, they all push music at you. But the goal of 𝗗𝗏𝗏 is to get back to community. Why the fuck, as an artist, you have to go to Instagram to find out who your fans are? Some of them are there. And then you have to pay $100 to boost a post, etc., to send them back to Spotify that doesn't pay you. So anyhow, we can go real deep on this, but yeah, I mean, that's the jam. If you listen to one Leon Bratt track this month, that's all you did with your subscription, he's getting $10. I work with a band called Social Scene. If it was one Leon Bratt track and a Broken Social Scene track, $5, $5. 1,000 tracks, it gets split. But even likes and comments and shares, every engagement is valued on this platform. It's all logged. All that shit is 50 billion. What the Instagram feed was last year. So there's a ton of all our engagement and our data is worth money. We are not selling any data, and we're giving all that back to creators. So that's the jam. And yeah, we just went fucking live. And as of today, we're on weeks. And as of yesterday, we're on Radium. And as for the future, this is not a meme coin. This is an SPL utility token with a future. Let's take a fucking chunk out of Spotify. We will be the Spotify killer. And Dylan, it's a goddamn pleasure to be here with you and Ray.
Zach, I don't know how you're going to top this, Zach.
Ryder has the most passion of any guy that I've ever met, so it is going to be hard to top. But yeah, if I can add to that, it's if you're on Spotify right now and you curate a playlist that has 1 million listeners in a month, like how do you monetize that? You got to make a merchandise store, unless you're like somebody like 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 that has a big brand and you know how to do it.
Can we see the React chart real quick? Sorry, Dill, can we see the chart?
Yeah, it's a virgin chart. It's probably nothing on it. And that's how we like it to start.
Carry on, Zach. Carry on.
Yeah, it's the main thing here is there's been other runners in the space, in the Web3 music space, and Ryder, to his testament, been in the industry for 2 decades, has a killer content acquisition team. 𝗙𝗥𝗢𝗏𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 changed from the iTunes 99-cent store model to streaming model, brought on Sony, Warner, Universal, all in the same space on a streaming, model. And he is head of content acquisition here at 𝗑𝗲𝗟𝗟𝗡𝗦, including OG Arabian Prince, founding member of NWA, opening so many doors. We have a 6 million song catalog. So to the best of our knowledge, it's the largest music catalog in all of Web3 right now. If you contrast that, maybe contrast the market cap, make your own decisions in terms of what you think this thing is going to go to. And it's just, it's opening so many doors because of the fact that 100% of subscriptions goes to creators, right? That's very interesting to record labels. That's very interesting to artists.
Yeah.
So now they're coming to us as they see we've onboarded these 6 million songs. Hey, we want to do exclusives. Can your utility token be staked so that we can do live launches of our songs for the first 24 hours? Our songs are only on your platform. Can we talk to fans? Can we see our top 1,000 listeners? Can we airdrop them tickets? Can we give them badges to flex within your ecosystem so that when Drake's on there eventually, he can see this guy's listened to 1 million hours of my songs. I want to meet this guy in person. All verifiable through engagement on the Solana blockchain, right? That's the 𝗑𝗲𝗟 way. And it's going to start with music, and it's going to go to podcasters, and then it's going to go to creators. But it starts with music because music is universal and can onboard everyone. Web2 users don't even need to know that it's crypto, but if you're crypto oriented and you connect that wallet, the rewards open up. There you go.
Guys. Okay, I'm trying to open the chart here, but it's just it's giving me a bit of a spinning wheel. It's not your chart, it's my browser. I'm trying to open it now, so we're trying to get it up here. I'm trying to move on to spot here on 𝗬𝗥𝗑. I'm trying to get it going, but guys, thank you. When I get this thing working, I'm going to show the chart. Thank you for hanging, guys. You can find a link for 𝗗𝗲𝗟, obviously in the show description, but you can also follow them straight here on Twitter. That's at 𝗗𝗲𝗟𝗡 Music App if you want to find out more. And obviously they got a banger website there that you can check out. Now, the minute I get this chart up here, I'm getting the spinning wheel. The minute it's
what's happening here, Lord Dylan, we're breaking weeks right now.
It's my browser. We just broke weeks. Okay, but guys, thank you so much. I'm going to carry on with some trade setups. The minute I can get that chart active, I'm going to show. Thank you for hanging, guys, and well done. What a great product. Good to have you here. Good luck.
Cheers. Goddamn pleasure. Thank you all.
Later, guys. Later. Okay, let's look at a couple more charts. And look, at some point we're going to get it. Here it is. Let's see if we can get our 𝗗𝗲𝗟𝗡. Here is a 𝗗𝗲𝗟. Okay, just give it some time. We got to nurse it a bit. We got to nurse it here. Okay, it will pop up in a second here. Let's keep going. So let's talk about 2 setups today that I was tracking on Bitfunded. I see Mudaffa's in the house. Still, I got 100% on Brett. What a banger. I mean, that was a proper entry on Brett, guys. I do have a Brett update for you guys in a sec. So here is GRT on the 1 hour, and I've also taken ICP. And that was another trade I dropped in Chart Hackers earlier today. So I'm running them on Bitfunded here at the moment. You can see they are nice and green at the moment, and my stops are just below my entry currently. So let's talk GRT and just see what is happening now. So GRT on the 1 hour, we can see we've had a beautiful pump now. The oscillator is getting a little bit hot for us, but what we do know is oscillator on the 4 hour wants to turn higher. Oscillator on the 8 hour wants to turn higher. So we are looking a little bit more bullish on GRT. But what I just want to show you guys is some banger support here and a degen re-entry zone. So if you've missed some of these entries, you got to look for your next safe zone. Where can you get in? And for me, that has to be 0.27. So that is going to be key support for you, 0.27. And just very notable here, look at this. Our anchored VWAP from the highs is resistance right now. Okay, you're going to find that on a lot of altcoins, anchored VWAP, resistance at the top. When you tie it in with more confluence, it gives you even more problems to the upside. So just be careful there. So GRT traders, what are we looking at? Anything down to 0.27 looks like a nice bullish buy zone here for you guys. 0.27. If this thing pumps higher, where do you need to be careful? Look at this. We've got our trend. We've got our 618 at 0.3. So that is a danger zone for me at 0.3. If we do pop this thing nicely, then we get new long trades later on. But right now, let's work with what is in front of us. And the information in front of us tells us GRT danger zone ahead, 0.3, 0.29. That is trouble. And then buy zone, 0.27. That is what we are looking at. And let's see, Bullish Kello says he took too many tequilas. This is what we're looking at here. So 0.27 GRT. Remember, these charts go straight into hackers after the show, so you will have them all at your disposal. Here is ICP, and this was a degen setup for the hackers guys earlier today. So what we picked up, this was a 15-minute degen trade. What we picked up was pressure from the alts. They were putting pressure on horizontals, and typically what you look for here is a pop of that horizontal, and then these things tend to get a little bit of momentum. So ICP was a hackers setup that I dropped earlier today. If you are trading ICP or you're looking for an entry, you've got the same problem now. If this thing has pumped, you need to play it safe, and your best bet is to play that retest. So any retest back onto that horizontal support is going to be your safest degen play there for you on ICP. So if you're jumping into this now, you are a little bit above your support. You're at 5% risk from a solid zone. And what we're looking at to the upside, keeping it pretty simple here on ICP, there are targets here for you, 13.6, and then we're looking at 14.7, and we're looking at 15.6. But remember, guys, you got to play this safe. And if you didn't get some of the entries on the show yesterday, the next best place to get these entries from me and from our team is going to be in hackers, where we drop these setups on the fly. So while I'm charting during the day, I see the setups, I just drop them in my channel, and that is how we keep things flowing there. Yes, sir.
One sec, though. Everybody, just jump in the show description, join the school, do the school, watch the show daily, follow some risk management, and then join the Discord. It's pretty simple. Like, it's all made for you. Like,
there we go. And Danny says the charts are already there. Charts are there.
This man works 24 hours for you guys.
Okay, let's go. Let's see if we got our high-O chart. Here's our high-O chart. Okay, here it is. High-O's on the 15 minutes. So this thing is just launched. Okay, it's just gone live here. And it's fresh. Okay, it's fresh off the press. And there it is, trading at 0.07 cents at the moment. If you think this project makes sense to you, and fundamentally it sounds like it's pretty decent, could be worth a look. So track it on WeX if you want to buy it, and get it over there. Okay, let's go. Let's talk a couple of memes, and then I got some other setups for you. So this is the constant problem with memes, and this is actually the constant problem with leverage trading in general. Your option is, okay, take profit, or what if this thing 10x's from here? So this is a constant problem we have, trading memes and trading all the time. But what I bought today was more of this Klaus. So I have spoken about Klaus before on my show. And one of the things that was drawn to me here was this chart that looks like, I wouldn't say it's confirmed bottom, but I mean, look at this chart. This is the daily chart on this Klaus. And you can see we're in a very steep downtrend here. And right now, it looks like it could be bottoming out. So it's looking interesting. Naturally, if we get that break on Klaus, this thing could start moving again. So we know this thing hit a monster market cap at one point. It's now trading at about an $8 million market cap. Targets here, it's 250% to 0.3, and it's 500% to the highs. You know what? For me, I'd be happy if we get 100 or 150% out of this thing. So I've grabbed some more Klaus. I've added to my bags on this thing. Let's see if we get some pumpage. Remember, always make sure you got the right ticker. So there's Klaus. You can see it here on Deck Screener. And the ticker starts with 0xB61 and ends in E2. So make sure you're buying the right tokens when you are doing these things. But I've had a go. Maybe we get a little 2x out of this guy. Okay, let's go into our next banger for you guys. Let's go WIF. Okay, let's talk WIF on the daily, and then let's look at WIF on a lower time frame and try and explain what is going on here. So what we saw yesterday was WIF really dumped hard, and they didn't give us our double bottom. They front ran that double bottom into that 2.5 zone. But what is interesting now from a bull's perspective, now there's two perspectives here. Okay, one of them is on the daily time frame, which could get interesting for us. So from a bull's perspective, we have reclaimed 2.9. Okay, this is very important level for us. This was our previous range low. So if we can get a daily candle close above 2.9, WIF turns nice and bullish again. Okay, so that is what I want to see. So I'm not turning bearish on WIF. I'm still sitting in a WIF long currently on 𝗬𝗥𝗑, but I see I've been logged out, unfortunately. So we can't do that one. We can't get back in just yet. Okay, so we'll see. But here is WIF on the 1 hour, and this is why it's interesting to me, because if there is a short-term rejection here, what if the market really starts falling over? And then at least we have cover and we've secured a head short in a nice area. So you can see if we zoom in on WIF, this looks like a decent short setup here, even if it's for a short-term move. So what we've got in the way, we've got our anchored VWAPs from the highs, we've got our 382, we've got trend, we've got another anchored VWAP, we've got another trend as well. And you can see that's our other trend, our retest of our previous rising trend. Okay, we lost that. Now we're retesting that zone. So this in general for me is a bearish zone. Anything from 3.1 up to about 3.3 is quite a bearish area for WIF until it starts breaking these types of levels. But remember, on the daily, we do have support at 2.9. So if we do get a pullback now and we reclaim this 2.9, then things are nice and bullish from the daily perspective. Okay, so that is why I'm not turning into an absolute bear here in the market. Again, just trying to cover you guys with some hedge plays. And, you know, that strategy held really well when the market fell over. And if we get the market falling over again, at least we have some hedge plays in place. And that pays for stop losses. And it lets us get a couple of fresh entries when there are moves lower. So my current game plan on this WIF short is it's a hedge play. So I'm prepared to hold it. And if it does drop even lower, I'm just going to keep holding it. If we go back to those lows, that is going to be the target. Otherwise, if we have a short-term dip on WIF and they blow through, that's all good. Okay, we are net long on the situation, and we take that stop as a hedge play. And then what we can do is look later on at the next major rejection zone. Then we can look for our next band where we can maybe start hunting for a next hedge play. And that is going to be 3.46, and that is going to be around 3.9. These would be the most obvious next zones that you could start looking at potential pullbacks on WIF. So right now, you can see we are below trend. Okay, we need to respect that trend. And when that trend blows, then we can be extra bullish on WIF. Now, short-term pullback zone, like I said, it's 2.9. Watch that zone. Watch 2.9. If we get a nice bounce here, that could be pretty bullish there for WIF traders. So just look out for that one. That could be a banger for you guys. Now, let's go 𝗬𝗓𝗡. That's another one from earlier today. And I've got that one in 𝗬𝗥𝗑 here. And they've logged me out, guys. I can't show you what is going on here. But 𝗬𝗓𝗡, also same setup. We saw tons of altcoins today doing the same thing. There was lots of horizontal pressure on these alts. Now they've popped. What has 𝗬𝗓𝗡 done? It's moved into a danger zone. So look at this. We've got our 200-day moving average in the way. We've got our VWAP in the way as well. And let's take a look at our VWAP from the highs. Let's just drop that one in as well. Okay, so now you can see another altcoin reacting on the VWAP from the highs. Look at that. That's no coincidence. We got lots of these alts at the moment fighting these VWAP resistance zones. Okay, so we know these are TP zones. These are caution zones. This is where we just take our foot off the gas a little bit and make sure that we are playing safe. Then with 𝗬𝗓𝗡, we also have a trend in play. Let's look at that. Okay, trend resistance. So now you can see the picture. We've had a beautiful pump on 𝗬𝗓𝗡. This is now danger zone for us. So 𝗬𝗓𝗡, anything from 24.4 down to 23.7, this is danger. Okay, so if you are long, if you are in a scalp long and things like that, this could be a TP zone for you. That is what you need to look out for. When do we turn super bullish on 𝗬𝗓𝗡? Bang, we got to blow that 200-day, close nicely above it. Then we are cooking. Okay, then we are on. So remember the strategy here, guys. Multiple trades, no problem. Okay, multiple longs, no problem. Take profits on some, especially the high leverage stuff. Take profits on some, Others keep open in case the market turns bullish, and add as you go. Let's increase the size of these positions and play that game. Just always keep your average entry underneath key support. So if you are adding, make sure your average entry is under a nice zone, and then keep raising your stop. So if you do get a round trip, at least you end up break even on the trade. So take profits on some, add on others. Let's see, because if you get an explosive move in the market, then you can really capitalize on some of those trades. So right now you can see, are we bullish area? I mean, bearish zone for us now on the 1 hour. What do we? Where's our next pullback zone? Where's our next buy zone? So again, degen play for you guys. What you need to look at is a solid support zone. So same story that we did with a couple of these other alts. We're going to just pull some fibs, and we want to understand when we pull from the lows to the highs, where do we get our bullish support? So I'm going to be using the fib from the 10th, the lows of the 10th, and I want to see where my 382 is. Now that is generally your safest bullish zone that you're going to be watching. So if we get a medium-sized pullback in the market, that is where you're going to get your buys, 22.5, and that should open that move for you to those higher targets. Now, your backup zone is 21.6. Watch that area, but 22.5, if you want to take on risk, the best place, 22.5. So all these horses have bolted now. Now you need to play safe. You're either looking for shorts in these resistance zones, or you're waiting on dips at 22.5. Okay, so things looking nice and bullish from that perspective. As long as we're holding those levels, then Pepe, a little update for you guys. A rocket ship off this horizontal here. This was a 618 and horizontals here on Pepe. But as you can see, we cannot turn super bullish just yet. We are printing a lower high at the moment. You can see there's our highs, and we are printing a lower high. Are we perhaps in a downtrend now on Pepe? So we just need to pay attention to what is going on there. But Pepe traders, look, I have no intention of closing my Pepe long. Okay, let's see how far we can push this thing and let this thing grind higher. I'm going to try and hold this one as long as possible, and then others we might be jumping out of a couple of these along the way. You can see Brett is already reversing a little bit here, and that short is starting to pay out a little bit there for us with nothing yet on that short. And Sui's okay at the moment. So let's just finish with Pepe for you guys. So look out for that. Your main support is 224. Okay, watch that area. If you close under 224, yes, then we are in a bit of trouble. We're looking at trend, and then we are looking at potentially these range lows. But right now, 224 is where it's at. That is going to be your support that you want to watch. And then I've got Injective for you guys as well. This is my bear case setup. Okay, so if you're sitting in longs on Injective, you've seen this bearish setup now on a couple of these. FP, I've got you covered, bro. Here we go. Nice move from Injective. Great buy zone at that 25 region. What did it bounce off? 786 50-day moving average. So nice bounce off that area. And that gave us the rocket. So what we do know at the time, we had our oscillator reversing on the 4 hour, turning bullish. We saw our signs. There they were. We had those multiple prints of oversold. And now this thing is turning bullish on the 4 hour. What does that mean for us now? Well, you can see we've had, how big is this move? So we had a move of 15% from yesterday's dip, and you can see we are in trouble zone number 1 on Injective. Where is the next danger zone? So right now you can see we've got problems here at 28 to 29. The next danger zone for me on Injective is this 31 region, and that is a potential short zone for you guys. So any bears out there or anyone looking for a hedge play on something like Injective, there's a big zone at 31 that could offer you some kind of hedge short on the situation. So you can see right now we are trying to reclaim this we are trying to reclaim this 28 zone. So if we do start floating around this area, look out for that pump into 31 and then a potential rejection there on Injective. So just look out for that. That would be a fake out of that trend as well. How many times have we seen that in the last couple of weeks with these fake outs out of trends, getting everybody in late longs and then dumping you? So look out for those moves. Obviously, play it safe. Remember, these are hedge plays for me. I'm not saying throw the entire bag at a short in a bull market. What I'm saying is look after your risk, protect yourself. This is one of the ways that I like to do it for me. And alternatively, you could just take profit in these areas if you're not so keen on it. Okay, let's talk Brett. And this is why I'm short Brett as a hedge play. So you got that entry yesterday. I saw Madofa had a good entry there on Brett. Look at those moves off that 618. We were looking at this yesterday. Raymond, do you remember this, bro? Fuck me. I mean, this was off 0.151. We got to bull this thing. we've got a bullhorn. It's an absolute banger. Now, you guys know my sentiments. You know my sentiments with Brett. I don't want to be out of Brett just in case there's some kind of Coinbase listing, okay? I won't be able to live with myself if there's a Coinbase listing or something like that and Brett rips 40% and I've held this position for 12 weeks and I'm not in it, okay? So I'm doing my utmost here to stay in this Brett position. That is why I opened that head short there at this resistance zone. Now, again, it's not rocket science. What we're doing here, very simple stuff. All we did was identify the major range highs. Okay, look at that major range. Remember when we were floating in that area, this was a solid consolidation in that zone. What happened? We broke out, we retested, and we bounced. Now we've lost it. We pushed back up. What have we done? We've rejected at the previous range. So 186. In fact, that was the target I gave you guys yesterday, 186 as your rejection zone. So that is why I'm now head short on Brett. Now, what can we use as support? Well, you can see I've got my quantum reactor here pushing up quite nicely, and it hasn't turned red yet. It's still nice and green. So that is a good start for us, and we can use that. So we're going to take our fibs from the lows to the highs on the 4 hour, and we want to see what type of confluence we have here from a bullish perspective. Now, if Brett is going to stay bullish, I'm expecting some kind of bounce at 165. So we're going to be watching 165. That is going to be our zone. So look out here. If this thing really starts falling over now, 165, that is where the next potential long is coming on Brett for me. Okay, that is what I'm looking at there. And alternatively, if it carries on falling over, we back at 152. So hopefully anyone who caught that scalp, 24% move, I think that's a bit of a banger. And right now, the next play for Brett, if this thing starts running, let's say the market reverses to the upside and we don't get a nice pullback. If Brett starts running, where is my next trade? So what if I miss? What if it doesn't come here and it just goes straight up there? Your next trade is going to be the retest of 186. Okay, that is going to be your safest trade that you can get. So let it pop higher. Then you want to look and you want to use 186 as your support, because you're gonna treat it the same way 186 acted as support here. You want to ask it to respect it as well. So when we break that level, 186 is what you're going to look for on support, and that could be another long for you guys on Brett. Okay, so that is the game plan there. And for me, when we break 186, I'm going to add to that Brett long. Okay, I want to add to that position. Let's try and grow a monster size Brett, because we'll never know. Maybe it gets what we want. Okay, Hassan says absolute banger entries. Guys, there's entries coming out of my ears all over the place. Uncle Mornay, I got out of Celestia, bro. I'm so relieved that I got out of Celestia finally. Let's talk about it. Oh, fuck. And it's pumping, right? Oh, no. I closed that massive Celestia long. Oh, bro. Celestia is going to be the end of me. I swear. I swear. I had a $50,000 Celestia long that I closed at break even after riding this thing to hell. And I was so happy to close this thing at break even. Okay, now it's breaking some big horizontals. Okay, so Celestia traders, let's just see what has actually played out here. I was obviously at PTSD because I was trading. If you guys remember, I got caught in that Celestia long before the dump. My entry was probably there, and I rode this thing all the way down. Then I added, and I've rode it all the way back. So I'm out of that thing now. And now you can see it's breaking some interesting levels. So let's just take a look at the size of this pump here. Okay, 27% pump from the lows. I mean, that's pretty decent for an absolute shitcoin. But okay, let's take a look. From a bullish perspective, what is going on Celestia? This is our support, 7.2. Look at that. Nice horizontals here. And you can see Celestia is trying to blow the VWAP. Again, another alt sitting and fighting against that VWAP over here. Look at that. That is major resistance here for us. If we do pop that, guys, there is a Celestia trade. Okay, if you're looking for a Celestia trade, there is a potential long, and you'll be able to use roughly 7.1 as support, or alternatively, you're going to use the quantum reactor at 6.9. So 7.1 and 6.9 are going to be your supports for Celestia if you want to ride it higher. And then your targets are going to be 7.9, and then you're going to take out those highs. Fuck, Ray, if this thing pumps, I'm going to be so bleak. I'm going to be so bleak if the Celestia So can't believe it, bro. Okay, let's talk Sui. And this thing was a banger. Now, yesterday, we were talking Sui, and I said, look out for the fake out under the trend. I mean, this is key. These market makers love to play games. And one of the things we were looking at was that little fake out here just under that trend. We were looking at that type of move, and we know people are super bullish on 𝗬𝗎, so it was kind of an obvious trade that you needed to pay attention to. And you can see our 4-hour is now absolutely gunning for it. This thing is looking hot, and this thing wants to churn a lot higher. So let's see what we get out of 𝗬𝗎. I think if 𝗬𝗎 starts breaking the highs, this could be one that we want to hold on to for quite a big move, okay, for a much bigger move. So if you are trading 𝗬𝗎, the big resistance, 4.47, that is what you're going to be watching, 4.47, okay, danger zone there to the upside for us. And then let's look at some bullish support. So if we get a reasonable size pullback here on 𝗬𝗎, what could we use? We're going to take it from these extreme lows here, and 3.93. So that is going to be your banger support on 𝗬𝗎. So anybody sitting in this at the moment, if you have your, if you want to understand where you can put your stops, you know, it would be below 3.93. So if you caught a nice entry lower down, there's no reason to panic, to do anything. If you're happy that this could be one of your trades that you want to try add to the position, grow the size and turn it into something quite monstrous, well, all you need to do right now is keep your average entry under 3.9. And if you do get weakness here, look for buys. Look to add in these types of zones, because that is most likely going to be a degen long zone for you. So 3.94 is a nice entry zone for you. 3.94, keep your average entry under 3.9. Okay, if this stays bullish, this thing's gonna rip. If it breaks these highs, well, guys, then we are going places. Okay, this thing is properly gonna start running. Okay, let's see. I see Syed bought some 𝗬𝗎 at 3.2. Okay, that's quite sneaky, bro. That's a proper trade. Well done. Okay, absolute banger. And bullish 𝗗𝗓 says 𝗬𝗎. I concur. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Let's go PopCat. Okay, you guys wanted some PopCat. Excuse me, still a bit ill, still coughing a bit. Okay, I've dialed into PopCat for you guys just to give you a quite a zoomed in degen perspective as to what is going on. So there's a couple of things we need to deal with on PopCat. You can see our VWAP once again is causing problems here for PopCat a couple of times already. So a little bit of a danger zone here for us on PopCat. You guys know my sentiments on PopCat. I'm trying to grow this thing as big as we can. Obviously looking for some really big upside. I'd like to see $2 at some point, maybe more if we can get that. And if the market stays bullish, well, I expect it to happen at some point. So I'm going to keep holding on to this PopCat position. What can we look for now from an upside perspective? So you can see we've broken through our first hot zone here. That is 1.22. That is the 100-day MA, double VWAP, and our 382. So we know that was a big resistance zone. If we can hold PopCat above this 1.2 zone, then I think this could stay pretty bullish for our next move, 1.36, 1.5. Those are going to be my targets there on PopCat. And then if we get a harder sell-off in the market, let's just look at some degen pullback zones here. Where can we grab an entry? If you haven't got one already on PopCat, how can you play this thing? Well, first thing you do, take your fibs, lows to the highs, look for confluence, look for tie-in, look for supports. What do we got here? Bang, 1.18. Okay, degen trade level here for us. Any dips into that guy could be worth a look. 1.185 on PopCat. That could be something there for you guys. And then your backup level, 1.229 is where it's at. Okay, guys, we've run out of time. Ray, any last words, sir?
Patience, and protect your positions.
Patience. That's what he says. Ryder's still hanging out with us. What's happening? He's still here. He's loving the show. Maybe he's a shitcoin trader. We're going to chat to him now.
Or Dylan, thank you for having me go on here. Fuck yeah, let's go.
Okay, guys, I'm out. You've got everything you need. Unfortunately, if you didn't get the entries early yesterday, or you missed out on some of the entries on Chart Hackers today, now we have to play the waiting game. We are in danger zones now on some of the alts on the lower time frames. Not saying they can't blow these areas and there can be more juice, but what I can say is to the degens out there, let's not get rinsed in a bull market. Let's be smart about this. Let's be greedy with our entries. And that is what I've given you today. A ton of setups here that can hopefully play out for you on a medium-sized pullback. Alternatively, we're going to be playing some breakouts again tomorrow. Hackers, you know what's happening tomorrow. I'll just keep dropping those setups non-stop. See you guys later.